Hey guys, and welcome to Pheas Software. Today I'm going to do an unboxing and review on this Klarus XT2CR PRO flashlight with tactical mount. Hey guys, and welcome back. If you do enjoy this content today, please do consider liking, commenting, and subscribing. The Linktree link down below will take you to all of my socials, and the join button will take you to YouTube membership, channel membership, 99 a month, totally optional. Really appreciated, custom videos and all that kind of stuff. But we're here for the main event. So many thanks to Klarus. I hope I've said that right. Klarus. I'm sorry. Do you know what? I apologize if I've said that wrong. They reached out to me. They said, we want to send you a torch. We want you to have a look at, give us a very honest opinion. I do like a tactical flashlight, and you know, particularly a bright one where I can melt the eyeballs out of the enemy team. And this at 2100 lumens, I am pretty damn excited for this. So I was like, absolutely, send it along. Let me have a look. So I have already been and filmed in the daytime a couple of bits to show you the kind of places where I am going to test the light in the dark to see what kind of range it's got, you know, how bright it is, that kind of thing. So we'll have a quick look first in here just because I'm getting a little bit excited. I want to calm myself down. So this is the tactical mount then. So this is a, get that out of the bag, a circular mount, so the light's going to, the flashlight's going to go in there, the torch is going to go in there, and it's going to mount on a riz rail. So you've got the option to sort of flip the torch around whichever way you want it, and then mount it left or right based on your preference, or you can get it on a side, you know, sort of pointing up, pointing down on either side. So you've got a bit of flexibility there with that mount. So I'll get that out of the way for now, and we'll sort of discuss it in the second half of the video. So the box itself then, pretty small compact box. So this has literally just arrived today. I'm just filming the first part of the unboxing. So we've got 2100 lumens, 240 meters maximum beam distance. That's a hell of a throw, that on it. 150 hours max runtime from a fully charged battery. 14,400 CD peak beam intensity. We've got a 3100 milliamp LiPo in there, and it's an 18650 Li-ion battery. So in theory, you could buy extra batteries, particularly if you're going to be away from a charger for a while, to sort of keep that topped up and running. We've got a Type-C charging, which is great that these things now are coming with it. This is a feature, you know, some Type-C charging. We've got 1 meter impact resistance, meaning, you know, for a typical airsofter, that is going to be more than enough. And IPX8 waterproofing, so down to 2 meters, which is pretty good. And obviously on the back, it's giving you the same thing. So it's talking about the sort of the lumens in the different modes that you've got, the runtime that it's sort of, if you're in low, it's 150 meters. If you're running at turbo, you've got 2 hours. Well, it says 2 minutes and 2 hours approximately. So I'm guessing it's 2 minutes, and basically it has to cool down because it's going to get pretty hot. It's pretty damn sort of light in there. So it's just telling you what's inside there. So we're going to get on with, we've got the optional accessories. We've got the lithium ion battery, is an extra battery we were just saying, USB adapter, a remote switch, and a rail mount, which we've got with us already. So I am excited to get in there. We've got a QR code to the website, 5 years warranty as well. So a nice compact little box. So we've got there, congrats on your new Klarus XT2CR PRO. Before initial use, please unscroll the tail cap and take off the insulating strip. Battery installation, user settings. So mode switch then, when off, click and hold 5 seconds. When indicator flashes red, green, then press the main switch simultaneously. Setting changed successfully. We'll have a look at that in a minute. So I'm going to open this little book thing, and there is, in a nice little pouch, I like the little pouch. So molle mountable, and it's Velcro as well. And we've got like a loop to attach it to other things with like a carabiner or something. So I'm just tear that open. There is our torch. Now that is actually pretty compact. You know, I've got pretty big hands. It's not massive, that, and it's pretty light. I'm not really, there's no real sort of like noticeable weight or struggling with that. So I've got USB socket there, so that's obviously for charging. That is one of those sort of like rubberized pads to seal the water out, and that obviously keeps it waterproof up to 2 meters. We've got a belt clip there, or you know, to loop it onto something. That will come off, but if I can get, want to be careful I don't, it is going to come off. I will get it off, bear with me. That's taking some force. I didn't want it to basically split under my nails and hurt me immensely. But I've clipped that off easy enough, the clip, and that will just go straight back on again if I need to. I'm pretty sure looking at it, that needs to come off to mount that in the tactical mount, the rail mount. But that's fine, we'll look at that in a minute. So the first thing it said to do was to remove the clip. Before I do that, because I'm a little bit excited, I always like extras in the box, I'll have a look in there. So we've got a product leaflet from the guys in general, just at the other stuff that they do, which is cool. Put that to one side. We've then got our little box of extras. So we've got a manual, a USB charging cable, and a lanyard as well, which is always nice. A little wrist strap lanyard. That's nice. I like that. And that's adjustable as well, so you can secure it around it. That's, do you know what? That's actually probably one of the nicest ones I've ever seen, and it's branded as well. It's really nice and soft. It's chunky. It's adjustable as well, and that will loop nicely through either of the holes on the end of the torch there. Or if you preferred, you could probably secure it around that and keep it attached via that. Or if you preferred it even further, you could possibly even just secure it to that and wear it in the pouch around your wrist if you wanted to. Just giving you options. Now, you probably noticed an O-ring did come out, and I'm pretty sure that if I unroll that, there is an O-ring right there. So I'm guessing that is a replacement for that O-ring, obviously to help it keep the water out, make it waterproof. So I'm going to remove the insulating pad. We'll just slide there is a lipo, branded lipo as well. That's pretty impressive. 18650 sort of form factor, 3100 milliamp battery. So I'm going to slide that back in, same orientation. So positive down towards the light, negative goes into the end cap. And then let's see what happens when I click this on. Oh, Jesus, that is bright. And that with my hand, you know, that's about 2 inches away, and that's already sort of causing warmth very rapidly on my hand. That is impressive. So if I put it on and I press the click back, so there's a little switch on the back. Oh God, that will change the mode. And then I believe if I get strobe, so if I hold it down for 3 seconds, 1 and 2 and 3, I've now got, oh my God, I'm sending myself. I will put a warning at the start of this video, flashing lights in this, and I can turn that off again. Now already that's building up some warmth. Now it was running on the highest temperature, lighting temperature, so turbo. So it was running at the full amount of lumens there, absolutely insane lumens. So 2100 lumens were running right then. And it's left spots in my eyes at the minute. I'm just kind of like, ooh. So bear with me 2 seconds. That is incredibly bright already. And I mean, I'm in not a small room, a decent sized room, and that is like literally illuminating the room up around me. That is just phenomenal. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go and cut to it being used, showing it sort of lighting up. In fact, before I do that, let's just check and see. So I'm just going to open this up. I'm guessing it's possibly come mostly charged. I'm just going to see if it will run and charge from a USB-C cable plugged into a battery pack. So I'm going to use their cable. I know there's plenty of charge in this, so I'm just going to plug that in. There's the indicator coming on, so that is now on charge, and it is running happily from my battery pack as well. So it'll run from a socket or a battery pack if needs be. So I'm going to get that charged up. I'm going to cut to showing it being used in the dark, and then we'll come back and discuss more about it and how I found it. Massively illuminating. It's high. That is easy getting right down the end of the field there. That is some power, that. There it's next one setting down, next one down. Really low is just not going very far at all. That's for your near stuff. Back to hyper power. Wow. That's on full power. That's a strobe effect, that's mad. You can see animals over there. It's insane, the brightness. Seeing the throw, it's unbelievable, it's like daylight. Back up the tower again. That's a considerable distance away and it's easily illuminating it. So we are back from doing our, or I'm back from our external testing. As you can see, that was a pretty damn impressive, you know, it was a sort of a bold claim, 240 meters, and it really didn't disappoint. You know, that's a substantial distance down to the far end of the field out of my house window, and I could see very clearly all the way down there, really easily up close. You know, it was absolutely sort of blindingly bright, I suppose is the only way to describe it. And the local industrial site as well, you know, former heritage site, really impressive that from sort of 30-40 meters back from the structure I was able to illuminate it, you know, fully on the brightest setting, and to sort of still illuminate it on the high setting, and then obviously reducing effects as we come down and things like that. So really just genuinely fantastic brightness coming out of it. Obviously, re-caution, it will get hot around the front there, and it does sort of say, you know, 2 sort of minutes on the high power and it should be coming off sort of thing. And, you know, if you're going to use this from an airsoft capacity, you know, just clicking it on and off, using that sort of strobe effect or just on and off, would be brilliant. I would love to try it with the pressure switch as well. Unfortunately, this package was just the flashlight and the tactical mount, which we're going to talk about in a minute. I've got something to attach it to there, so that's the Well Pro AK sort of AK12, which we're going to have a look at in a moment. Obviously, something that did strike me whilst I was out and about, obviously I did take the sort of belt clip off the latch there, and actually I sort of said, oh, it's really tough to get off, and what I didn't acknowledge at the time, and it kind of struck me later on, is actually how good of a feature that is. The fact that that is not going to easily just catch and pop off and lose your torch, that it took such a substantial force to get that off was really impressive. You know, it's well thought out, clearly well thought out. The CNC, I'm assuming CNC, the cuts and things on there are just, and the styling is cool. And particularly with AK12, you know, it's very much in keeping with the look and the feel of a lot of sort of modern airsoft kit, and, you know, which is based on modern kit in general. So I was pretty impressed. So next thing we're going to do is have a quick look at the tactical mount. So we've got there our tactical mount, which we'll get out, including the appropriate hex or Allen key. Now, in theory, it won't just slide in, obviously deliberately so. I will need to loosen that off. I don't know if I need to remove them or just loosen them. So let's try loosening first and see if I can get enough room under there. So I've done under those a little bit, and what we're going to go for is high mount. Now, what I might be able to do, this is the cheating way of doing it. Klarus, I apologise. Oh, do you know what? Already, I was a little bit concerned that that might not be a snug fit or whatever, but actually, that is already, you know, just tighten that down. That is already, you know, it's loosened off and I can see it's gripping. That is going to grip that absolutely beautifully. So I'm just going to evenly sort of about half a turn on each one each time, just to get a uniform grip. What we don't want is to put over pressure, any pressure on any particular point on the flashlight or on the grip, because it's, you know, unusually gripping differently in different places. So we want as uniform as possible, and we should see a relatively uniform gap. Now that is absolutely, that's not even fully tightened down, and that's literally rock solid. So we're now in a position then where, based on this, I can sort of mount it up like that, or I can mount it down on the other side. So we'll go for up, so it will just loosen off on there, it will just clip on, and there it is, you know, very little added weight on there. I can easily get my thumb onto it. I'm blinding myself again there. You know, I can get my thumb onto that, I can get my thumb onto that, particularly depending on how you hold that. And if I take that back off, and we'll flip it over the other side, and we're going to go for the down mounting now. Again, undo those screws, undo, you know, and I can get that out, and I can flip it and mount it on the higher side. That possibly on the higher setting on this side, in fact, you know what, I'm going to do it, is probably going to be the best for me because of how I am right-handed, and how I'm going to run this in general. This is going to need, particularly if I've not got that pressure switch, this is going to need to be on that higher position on this left-hand side for easy access for my thumb. Oops, dropping that. That's now loose. I'll undo that. The last thing after this sort of bit that we've got to talk about, so I need it to go that way, is the change between sort of outdoor mode and tactical mode. So I'll get that branding lined up there. And there we go, secure that down. So there is sort of like, we're in kind of like a tactical mode where you've got the strobe, and there's kind of more of like an outdoorsy mode as well, which we're going to talk about. And I've just done exactly what I said not to do, which is I've over tightened in one particular place. And I could see that the gap already was not very uniform. There we go, that's much better. So get that back on there. Now I have finger tightened that, but what you can do is put your Allen key in and use it. There's holes in the little tightening thing there, just to help tighten it off a little bit more, and just makes it extra secure. Now that there is absolutely perfect for me to get onto both the actual button and the quick press as well, which is absolutely brilliant. And it's not in my way particularly either. It's in a nice place there where I can get hold of that, and the sort of versatility of having it high mount, low mount on either side or on the top is absolutely brilliant. I might even be tempted to put it back the other way, but sit it on the top rail so it's snug to my top rail. Let's just loosen that off. Now obviously, I'll flip the torch around it again. So just loosen those off. And then I'm just going to undo that. I'm going to slide it out, slide it in the other way, tighten that back down again, because I'm looking for a left mounting like that. Just monitoring the gap there while I'm tightening things down. There we go, get that on there. And then again, it is kind of conflicting a little bit with my front sights. There is a gap down that bracing there. You can possibly see it down the thing, so it's not horrific. I can still get down the sights and aim through there, so sort of still co-witness. But then I have got the ability then that it is a little bit more accessible and positionable to sort of suit that. So it's all about what you want. You've got that versatility there, that you can line this up where you want it to sort of go. So we'll just take that off there. We'll just take this out of the way for now. So in terms of the torch itself, I'm really impressed. The brightness is fantastic. It's, you know, the USB-C, that's where all modern tech is right now. So a nice little feature that's in there. Excellent runtime, you know, based on sort of, you got on the turbo mode, you know, you've got 2100 lumens, you've got sort of 2 minutes plus 2 hours. So I assume that you can run it for 2 minutes at a time, and then a total of 2 hours will get out of that. You know, those sort of run times combined with the lumens is absolutely just unbelievable, and really sort of impressive. The last thing then to talk about is to switch it mode. So let me just scoot around and find where that little, so there is a little LED indicator there. So to change modes at the minute, if I hold that down, we've got the tactical strobe, and if I press it on, and click that, it reduces down in power and goes back to the start again. Now what we do is I'm going to sort of cover the end up a little bit. We're going to hold down the strobe effect and we get the green light, and as soon as it goes on to red, I'm going to click the power button, and then now if I press the strobe effect button, we just get a solid lower end light, which is more in line with like a camp lights, camping, outdoor general look and feel, and it reverses the effect. So if I'm just clicking that button on its own, it's just illuminating in the lower power setting, and if I go for the click button, we're now cycling back through the power modes. I said reverse mode, then it's not. So we've switched the mode. So to put it back again, I'm just going to hold down the button again. I'm just looking for this little LED here, which I'll cover up. So it's gone green. As soon as it goes red, I click the button, turn that back off, and now we're back to strobe effect again. So I can easily and quickly switch it between those two modes based on what I want, which makes it really useful for, you know, feature sets beyond just sort of airsoft tactical use, because let's face it, at times we're not always going to need that strobe effect. You know, when we're out in camping, we want to be careful. We don't want to necessarily cause people epileptic seizures and things like that. Just drop that off there. So I am very, very, very impressed with the build quality, the lightness, despite, you know, sort of its feature set and things. I am really impressed with this X2CR PRO torch from Klarus. Thank you very much to those guys for sending me one to unbox and to show off. Hope you've enjoyed that. I'll leave a couple of photos just of it with its accessories attached back to the piece of kit again. Make sure to like, comment and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye.